Let's talk about money, something that affects every single one of us, every day, whether we're earning it, spending it, or saving it. Today we're focusing on a big change coming to the UK's minimum wage, a change that's set to impact millions of workers and businesses across the country. The government, under the leadership of Finance Minister Rachel Reeves, has announced plans to raise the national living wage by 4%, bringing it up to $12.70 per hour for everyone aged 21 and over. This is more than just a number. It's a significant step for workers who have been feeling the squeeze from rising prices and stagnant wages. The new rate will take effect in April 2026, and when it does, it will directly affect the paychecks of millions of people across the UK, from bustling cities to small towns. For a full-time worker, this means an annual salary of just over $26,400, a figure that could make a real difference for families trying to make ends meet, pay rent, or save for the future. For many people in sectors like retail, care, and hospitality, jobs that are often undervalued but absolutely essential, this wage increase is a crucial step toward keeping up with the ever-increasing cost of living. It's about recognizing the hard work of those who keep our communities running. The government says this move is all about fairness, making sure that a full day's work pays enough to cover the basics, and that no one who works hard should have to struggle to get by. But there's another side to the story. While workers will see a boost in their pay, small businesses, especially independent shops, cafes, and local services, will face higher wage bills. For some, this could mean tighter budgets, difficult choices, or even raising prices to cope. For a single parent, this wage hike could mean less stress about paying the bills, more security for their children, and maybe even a little extra to put aside for the future. It's a change that could bring real relief to households that have been stretched thin. For a small business owner, though, it might mean tough decisions about how to manage costs, whether that's cutting hours, reducing staff, or finding new ways to stay competitive in a changing market. The big question is, how do you lift up workers and help them earn a living wage without putting too much pressure on the very businesses that provide those jobs? It's a delicate balance, and one that will require careful planning and support from both government and industry. This wage hike is a bold move, aiming to make work pay for everyone. But as with any major change, it comes with real trade-offs, and the true impact will depend on how well the country can support both its workers and its businesses in the years ahead. So, how does the UK's new minimum wage compare globally? At $12.70 per hour, the UK will leap ahead of countries like France, Germany, Japan, Canada, and the US. Only Australia and New Zealand will have higher minimum wages. This puts the UK in the top tier worldwide, a strong statement about valuing workers. But a high wage doesn't always mean more buying power. The cost of living in London is very different from other cities. For businesses, higher wages can mean higher costs, affecting where they invest and hire. The real test: will this wage outpace the rising cost of daily life? It's not just about the number, it's about what that number can actually buy. To predict the impact of this wage hike, let's look at the last one. When the national living wage rose to $12.21 in 2025, it coincided with a payroll tax increase, double trouble for businesses. The result? The UK lost 115,000 payroll jobs in a year, especially in hospitality. Many small businesses faced a tough choice: raise prices, cut hours, or lay off staff. Higher wages also contributed to inflation, as businesses passed costs to customers. The cycle. People earn more, but prices rise, sometimes canceling out the benefit. As the new increase approaches, business owners are nervous. Will history repeat itself? The stakes are high for both workers and employers. Here's an unexpected twist. Recent increases in the UK's minimum wage are closing the gap with graduate starting salaries, creating a situation few anticipated just a decade ago. For many, this is a surprising development that's shaking up the traditional expectations of the job market. Traditionally, earning a university degree meant a clear financial advantage, with graduates stepping into roles that paid significantly more than minimum wage jobs. The cap and gown symbolized not just academic achievement, but also a ticket to higher earnings and greater job security. But now, with the new minimum wage set at $26,516 a year, many entry-level graduate jobs offer salaries that are only marginally higher, or sometimes even the same. This means that the financial gap between those with degrees and those without is shrinking fast. Some CEOs and business leaders are starting to ask tough questions. Why should young people take on as much as $45,000 in student debt for a starting salary that's barely above what they could earn without a degree? The return on investment for higher education is under scrutiny. This salary convergence is forcing young people to rethink their plans. Many are now weighing the costs of university against the immediate earning potential of entering the workforce straight after school. The decision is no longer as clear-cut as it once was. The promise of higher long-term earnings from a degree is less certain if the starting point is nearly the same as a non-graduate job. Young adults are left wondering if the years spent studying and the debt accumulated will really pay off in the end. Companies feel pressure to raise graduate salaries to maintain the appeal of degree-level roles, but many businesses, especially smaller ones, simply can't afford to keep up with these rising costs. This creates a challenging environment for both employers and new graduates. The result is a squeeze that's reshaping career choices for an entire generation. Young people are exploring alternative routes, such as apprenticeships, vocational training, or entering the workforce earlier, in search of better value for their time and money. The lines between graduate and non-graduate jobs are blurring, with more people finding themselves in similar roles, regardless of their educational background. The traditional hierarchy of the workplace is being challenged. As the value of a degree is being questioned like never before, the UK faces a pivotal moment. The choices made by today's young people could redefine the future of education, work, and what it means to succeed. The job market for new graduates is tougher than ever. Graduate positions are shrinking. Major employers cut hiring by 8% last year, the second year in a row. Even the Big Four accountancy firms have slashed their graduate intakes. For young people, this means more competition and more rejections. Landing a top-tier job is no longer a given. Many graduates are lowering their expectations or looking outside their fields. The old guarantees are gone. The path from degree to career is uncertain. Students, universities, and employers are all rethinking their strategies. The landscape for new professionals is changing fast. Adaptability is now more important than ever. With rising costs and shrinking job prospects, is university still worth it? Tuition fees in England have soared from $1,000 a year in 1998 to $9,535 today. Most students graduate with debts of $45,000 or more. Repayments kick in once you earn over $25,000, with 9% of your income above that deducted automatically. Many see it as a graduate tax that lasts for decades. Now, with the minimum wage rising, some question if the debt is justified. The calculation is tougher: big debt, uncertain job market, and a wage you could earn without a degree. The decision to go to university is now a high-stakes financial gamble. For many, the answer isn't clear-cut. The value of a degree is under more scrutiny than ever. The government is rethinking the University for All approach. The old target, half of all school leavers going to university, is gone. Now, the goal is for 2/3 of young people to be on a path to success by 25, whether that's university, college, or a gold standard apprenticeship. Vocational training and apprenticeships are being elevated as equal to degrees. The aim: match education with real economic needs and fill skills gaps. Skilled trades and technical roles are in high demand. The message success isn't just about academic qualifications. The challenge is making these new paths as attractive and accessible as university. Despite the push for apprenticeships, numbers are falling, not rising. Since 2015, apprenticeship starts are down by a third. Engineering apprenticeships have dropped 40% since 2017, right when they're needed most. The apprenticeship levy, meant to boost numbers, hasn't worked as planned. Many businesses find the system complicated and inflexible. Smaller firms struggle to access funding. The result: a well-intentioned policy that's not delivering. The government faces a big challenge: turning good ideas into real opportunities. The skills gap remains, and the system needs fixing. The future of work depends on getting this right. So, what does all this mean for the future? As we stand at this crossroads, the choices we make today will shape not just our own lives, but the world our children inherit. The landscape of work and education is shifting beneath our feet, and everyone, From workers to business owners, students to educators, feels the tremors. For minimum wage workers, the pay rise is a lifeline. It means more than just a bigger paycheck. It's the difference between scraping by and finally being able to afford basic needs, like rent, groceries, or even a small treat for their families. For many, it brings a sense of dignity and hope that their hard work is being recognized. For small businesses, it's a real challenge, balancing fair pay with survival. Owners are forced to make tough decisions, raise prices, cut hours, or even let go of staff. The pressure to stay afloat is immense, and some worry if their doors will stay open at all. The hospitality and retail sectors are bracing for tough times. With rising costs and changing consumer habits, these industries face an uncertain future. Some businesses may adapt and thrive, but others could struggle to survive in this new reality. For young people, the path forward is less certain than ever. The traditional routes to stable employment are shifting, and the pressure to make the right choices early on can feel overwhelming. Many are questioning what skills will truly matter in the years ahead. The value of a degree is under scrutiny, but university applications remain high. Students and parents alike are weighing the cost of higher education against its potential rewards, wondering if a diploma still guarantees a good job, or if new paths might offer better security. This wage hike is more than policy. It's a social experiment with real risks. Lawmakers and experts are watching closely to see how it plays out, knowing that the results could influence decisions for years to come, both here and around the world. Workers' unions celebrate it. Business groups warn of inflation and job cuts. The debate is fierce, with each side convinced they're fighting for the future. The outcome will affect not just paychecks, but the very structure of our economy. Educators are scrambling to adapt to a world where degrees aren't the only ticket to success. They're rethinking what and how they teach, preparing students for jobs that may not even exist yet, and encouraging lifelong learning as the new normal. The future will likely be a mix: practical skills valued, businesses adapting, and young people making tougher choices. Apprenticeships, coding boot camps, and entrepreneurial ventures are gaining ground, offering alternative routes to success. Flexibility and adaptability will be key traits for the next generation. The ground is shifting for everyone. No matter your age or background, the need to adapt is universal. Navigating this new world will require resilience, creativity, and a willingness to learn new things. The next generation must think critically about what path leads to a secure, fulfilling life. It's not just about chasing the highest salary, but finding work that offers meaning, growth, and stability in a rapidly changing world. The only certainty, change is here, and it's reshaping work and education for all. The choices we make now will echo for decades, so it's up to each of us to stay informed, stay flexible, and help shape a future that works for everyone.